Hey everyone, and welcome to January's TBR Assemble. If you don't know what TBR Assemble is, I'll leave a link up above to the original video where I do the full explanation, but it is essentially my Avengers based TBR game. There is no real difference to what it was doing last year. The only real difference is that I've taken away the Gwenpool monthly prompt just because I kept on forgetting to do it every single month until I sat down to start filming, and by that point I've got to try and scramble around and try and find another book to fit in with the rest of the prompts. So I just decided to scrap it because it was getting a bit too complicated. I kept on forgetting to do it, so I just figured best to leave it behind this year and just go straight with the board and the prompts. So with that bit of housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the roles and exactly what I'm going to be reading this month. And before we continue, I must give a massive apology right now for the lighting situation. I am currently filming this at 1:45 in the morning because I haven't been well for the last few days, and I've been just trying to sort of find a snippet of time where I felt well enough to film, and apparently that was 1:45 in the morning. So I'm currently using the main lights and also my phone light to try and light this. So apologies right now if this looks terrible, but I'm making it do with what I can at the moment. And we're back to using the board again, and we're going to be starting off the year with a Natasha because she was the first one I grabbed, and we're starting down at 1 again because obviously it is the start of a new year, so we start down at 1. Let's get going with the first roll, and that is a 3. So we go 1, 2, 3. That is starting strong, Power Stone Fantasy. And I'm going to go over into this clump here, and I'm going to go for this one. I'm grabbing too many there. There we go. Clint, Let the Arrow Decide. Oh my god, could the year start better than with a Could the Arrow Decide? Right, so we are in front of the archery set, and we're going to let the arrow decide. And how this works is that I fire one of these sucker arrows into this, and whichever bit it lands on, it corresponds to a different book, and whichever bit I land on essentially means I read that book. So for the number 2 bit, I'm going to say I will be reading Mindbreaker. For the 4 section, it will be Transmogrify. For 6, it will be the latest Melissa Albert book. I've forgotten the name of it. When Angels Fall, I think. Either way, the cover will be here. For 8, it will be Creeping Beauty. And if I get to 10, it means essentially I can read whatever I want because I've hit the bullseye. So, let's get this and let's fire it. And as you can see, I have hit the 8. It's nearly into the 10, but it's mostly in the 8, so I'm going to count that as an 8, which means I'm going to be reading Creeping Beauty. And as you saw from that previous clip, my prompt was Clint Barton and Let the Arrow Decide, and the arrow decided Creeping Beauty for me. This is by Andrea Portes. I apologise right now if I've mispronounced it. And I'm just going to give you the back of this. It says, in most tales, Sleeping Beauty pricks her finger and falls asleep, awaiting her prince. In this tale, Sleeping Beauty finally wakes up, and that just really intrigued me. I've been wanting to read it since I bought it at Yalk a couple of years ago now, and I'm really excited to give it a go. So cannot wait to get started, and really happy that the arrow decided this book for me. Roll number 2 is a 4, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That is fan fiction. Brilliant. Roll number 3 is a 1, so we just go over 1. Actually, I went the wrong way then. 1, and that is comics with the Time Stone. If I can stop making everything go everywhere. That's a terrible fan. We'll try that again. There we go. And we're going to go this one here. Billy and Tommy, LGBTQI+ author or main character. My next prompt was Billy and Tommy, which is to read an LGBTQI+ author or main character. So I've gone for Something's Killing the Children, Volume 7 by James Tynion. This is obviously the 7th volume in this series, and it is following Erica Slaughter, who is a monster hunter. I won't go into any more detail further than that because that would be getting into spoilers and everything else, but just know that this is my absolute all-time favourite horror graphic novel series. I absolutely love it. James Tynion is one of my all-time favourite, if not my favourite now, graphic novelist who writes horror books, and I am so excited to continue on with this series. It is taking me everything I have to not read this right now because it is currently still December, but I'm leaving it for January and I cannot wait. I may actually start January with this book to start out strong with the year, but I don't know. Either way, I am just really really excited to read this.
Roll number 4 is a 5, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is fan fiction again, so we move over 1, and that is comics again. And I'm going to go over this side now, and that is Mark, a warrior character. I'll have to have a think on that, but I'm sure I'll come up with something.
My next prompt was Mark Spector, which is to read a warrior character. So I've gone for some Spider-Man stuff because I know Spectacular Spider-Man, I think it's called. There's a new Spider-Man animated TV series coming out this month. And I just decided that I think Spider-Man is kind of a warrior character. So I'm going to be reading some Spider-Man stuff and I'm counting it for this prompt.
Roll number 5 is a 1, so we're just going to go up 1. That is own voices for the Mind Stone. And I'm going to go into this little clump here, and I'm going to go for this one. Steve Rogers, an older book.
Next up I had Steve Rogers, which was to read an Own Voices older book. And again, I'm slightly cheating here by rereading Iron Widow because I've got Heavenly Tyrant currently on my Kindle, and I've been so excited to read that one as soon as it arrived at my in my Kindle, but I can't quite remember what happened last time, so I want to reread Iron Widow, and I am so excited about this because I loved Iron Widow when I read it a couple of years back now. It was so good. It was the perfect combination of female rage, taking down the patriarchy, and Pacific Rim and kaiju. I absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait to reread this book, and this prompt gave me the perfect opportunity to do that, and I cannot wait to do it.
And then the final roll is a 4, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That is fan fiction again, so we move over to another fantasy. Okay then, let's go this side over here. We're going to go for this one, Makari, a quick read.
And then my final prompt was Makari, which is a quick read. So I'm going for The Storm Runner by J.C. Cervantes. I apologise right now if I've mispronounced that. And this is counting for a quick read because it is a middle grade book and the writing is quite big, as you can see. So I'm hoping it's going to be a reasonably quick read for me. And this one is all about a young boy who is spending his days exploring a sleeping volcano in his backyard, but then it turns out that the volcano is actually a centuries-old prison for the Mayan god of death, and that just sounds really exciting. This was one of my Waypoint Books full moon subscription box picks for the last 2 months. I can't remember if it was November or December, but either way I am really excited to read this one. I've had my eye on it for a while, and if Hannah thinks I'm going to really enjoy it, I'm sure I will do, and I cannot wait to get started. And that's the end of the plan, TBR, in terms of audiobooks or whatever. I'm not entirely sure yet what I'm going to be reading. I'm kind of just going to decide that on the first day of January and see what I feel like, see what's available, all of this kind of thing. And if I've got time for any other books, I will obviously add them on to the end. But I'm just planning to read these at the moment and everything else I've just mentioned in terms of like ebooks and everything, because I kind of wanted an easier start to January with a few short books and a few sort of easy reads and things I'm really excited for. So that is the plan for the moment, and I cannot wait to get started. But for now, I'm now going to go to bed because I am quite ill and I've been trying to hold back coughs this entire time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me what you're reading in January. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me, I'm going to say, a firework emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all my social media if you want to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics if you want to check that out, because I'm going to have a whole load of stuff on there to do with Spider-Man in the coming weeks. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos and see what I think about these books and anything else I have to say about books, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!